Okay, guys, let's go over some of our review for greatest common factor and how to factor that out. Our review tomorrow is going to focus on this at the beginning of class. So remember, we did use our calculator to help us with the factoring part. So menu 2, 3. And remember, when you do that, you can only do the number pieces. So on these, you'll see that there are kind of number pieces that are there. So if I do menu 2, 3 to the 40 value, that's going to give me 3 2s and a 5. And if it's b to the second, I'm going to put 2 b's. Do my plus sign. If I go to 65 and I put 65 into the calculator after menu 2, 3, I'm going to get 5 times 13, and then that b to the fourth is going to give me 4 b values. So remember, we're looking for what they share in common. So as far as numbers, we can see they share a 5. And as far as b's, there are 2 b's. So the 5 and the 2 b's is going to go out in front of our parenthesis. And then we're going to almost pretend that those pieces are gone and see what's left over. So in the first one, I have 3 2's. And then in the second one, I have plus, and then I have 13 and 2 b's. So really the only thing I can do at this point is to kind of put together some of the values that have more than 1 b's or more than one number. So out in front, this is going to be 5b to the second. Those 3 2's are going to give me 8. And then 13b squared. Now if they ask you for the GCF, that greatest common factor is just this piece. Okay, now that question's different than to factor out your GCF. So on this GCF, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take each of these numbers and we're going to factor them using menu 2, 3 in our calculator. So 12 becomes 2 2's and a 3, and this p squared becomes 2 p's. 26 is 2 and 13, and then 4 p to the fourth is going to give me 4 p's, and then 14 is going to give me 2 and 7 and then a p. Now I'm looking for what they share in common. So number-wise, I can see that they all share a 2, and as far as the variable of the letter, I can see they all share a p. So 2p is going to go kind of out in front. Now I'm going to kind of cancel those pieces so I can see what's left over. So in my first one, I have a 2, a 3, and a p that is left over. Do my plus sign. So I have 13 and I have 3 p's. And then a 7 is all that's left in the last one. So remember, our next step is just to put together the pieces that we have. So the 2p in front is good. The 2 times 3 is going to become 6p. In the next one, 13 is going to come down, but there are 3 p's there. So it's going to be p to the third. And then plus 7. So when they're looking for their answer, they're looking for kind of the whole thing there. Okay. The next one, we're going to start out kind of the same way. We're going to factor each of our pieces, just the number part. So 24 is going to be 3 2's and a 3, and then the AB. 32, I have 5 2's and a B. And then when I do 12, 2 2's, a 3, and b squared means that there are 2 b's. So now I'm going to go through and look for what they have in common. So I can see that they each have 2 2's in common. I can also see that they have a b in common. So 2 2's and a b. Now, if I cancel that part out in each problem, I'm going to have to see what's left over. So in the first one, I have a 2, a 3, and an A. In the middle, I have 3 2's. And the last part that I have after the plus is 3B. Okay, now I'm going to go through and just multiply stuff out. So in the front, 2 times 2 is going to be 4, so it's going to be 4B. Here I have 2 and 3, which is going to be 6, and the A goes after that. 2 times 2 times 2 is going to give me 8. And then 3B. Okay, go over your